Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to another lesson. In this lesson, we're going to learn 25 phrasal verbs with the verb get. Now, before we begin the lesson, I would like to welcome all the new subscribers and thank you very much to the old subscribers who keep coming back. And for those who haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel and join this family. Have you subscribed? Now, thank you. Let us begin our lesson. I will explain each of these phrasal verbs, and I will also give you a sentence in which I use the phrasal verb. Now, let's begin with number 1. Get up. Get up. To get up is to stand up, okay? To get up is to stand up. For example, if you're lying in bed, you wake up and then you get up, okay? So to get up is to stand up. You can use get up in a sentence. For example, you can say, I get up at 8 o'clock every morning. I get up at 8 o'clock every morning. The next phrasal verb is get over. Get over. To get over is to recover from something. To recover from something. For example, if you have had a relationship with your girlfriend or with your boyfriend and you break up with your girlfriend or your boyfriend, then you go through a lot of heartache. You go through months when you have a lot of pain in your heart. But after a few months, you get over your boyfriend. You get over your boyfriend, and that means that you have recovered from that pain that you had when you broke up. So then you can say, oh, I don't worry about my boyfriend anymore. I got over him. Okay? I got over him. It means that you don't think about him anymore. You don't worry about him anymore. You have no feelings about him anymore. So you got over him. Okay? I got over my boyfriend. I got over my girlfriend. Or someone may ask you, how long is it going to take you to get over that problem? How long is it going to take you to get over that problem? It has already happened. Get over it. Okay? Probably you hear people saying a lot, get over it. Like, let's say, for example, you do something really bad to your brother or your sister and he gets really angry with you, okay? And every time you meet him, he complains about it. Then you can say to him, come on, get over it. Get over it. And he may say, I'm over it, okay? I'm over it. So get over it. It means stop talking about it and move on with life. Okay? So to get over something is to recover from something, to move on with your life. Okay? To forget whatever has happened and just move on with your life. Get over it. Okay? Now, let's move on to phrasal verb number 3. Get on with. Get on with. To get on with means to cope with someone. It means to have a good relationship with somebody, okay? Let's say, for example, if someone asks me, do you get on well with your colleagues? Do you get on well with your colleagues? Then what he or she is asking me is if I have a good relationship with my colleagues. If I ask you, do you get on well with your parents? Do you get on well with your parents? What I'm asking you is, do you have a good relationship with them? Okay? So to get on with is to have a good relationship. So you can say, for example, I get on very well with my friends. I get on very well with everybody. I get on very well with anybody that I meet. I get on with everybody very well. I get on very well with everybody. Okay? Now, the next one is get up to. Get up to. Get up to means to do something. It means to do something. Let's say, for example, you're sitting at home and you have a toddler. You have a son who is very young, okay? And then suddenly he disappears and he is very quiet. So you can ask him, what have you got up to? What have you got up to? What have you got up to? In other words, you're asking, what is it that you're doing? What are you doing? You can use this phrasal verb in a sentence by saying, when I visited Luxembourg, I got up to a lot of things. For example, I did some shopping, okay? I got up to. What have you got yourself up to? What have you got yourself up to? It means, what is it that you're doing? Because get up to means to do something. I can also say, for example, I feel very tired tonight. I will get up to nothing. I will get up to nothing tonight. I just want to relax. I feel extremely tired tonight, so I will get up to doing nothing. I will get up to doing nothing. I just want to relax and rest. Okay? Let's move on to number 5. Get into. Get into. To get into is to be accepted or admitted to a college or an institution. To get into is to be accepted or admitted to a college or university, okay? So you can use this phrasal verb in a sentence by saying, I got admitted into Harvard. I got admitted into Harvard. I got admitted into Harvard. I got admitted into Manchester University. I got admitted into Manchester University. Now, also, you can use admitted. You can use this phrasal verb to mean being admitted, for example, to a hospital. So you can say, for example, last week when I fell sick, I got admitted into the hospital. I got admitted into the hospital. Okay? I got admitted into the hospital. So you can also use it like that. But usually we use it to say you've been accepted or admitted to a college. I have got into my dream university. I have got into my dream university. Means you have been accepted or admitted to that university. Now, let's move on to number 6. Get through. Get through. To get through is to overcome a difficult situation. To overcome a difficult situation. Let's say, for example, you have just been sacked. You have lost your job, okay? And that means that you have no income for the next couple of months, okay? And then after 5 months, you get a job. Then you can say, I have got through a lot of financial problems, but now that I have a job, life is much easier. I have got through a very difficult period in my life when I lost my job. I have got through a lot of difficult situations when I lost my job. Okay? Or let's say, for example, one of your family members is sick, okay? And you want to encourage them, you want to comfort them. You can tell them, do not worry, you will get through this. You will get through this. Okay? Don't worry, you will get through this. In other words, you're saying to them, don't worry, you will overcome this sickness, okay? You will get through it. Or you can say to someone, keep trying, keep trying. One of these days, you won't have this problem anymore. You will get through it. You will get through it. Means you will overcome it. Let's move on to number 7. Get out. Get out. To get out is to leave a place physically, okay? To get out is to leave a place physically. In other words, you stand up, you walk and leave the room, okay? You stand up and walk and leave the room. So you can use this, for example, if you have a child who is very naughty and he is screaming, okay, he is screaming, and let's say, for example, you have a very important phone call, okay, you can ask your son who is making a lot of noise, get out of the room. Get out of the room because I have a very important phone call to make. Get out of the room because I have a very important phone call to make. Okay? Or let's say, for example, you go to a shop and you start shouting at the people there, okay? You start shouting at the cashier, you start shouting at the shop assistants. Then the security guy can ask you, excuse me, can you get out of this shop, please? Excuse me, can you get out of this shop? So to get out, he means can you leave immediately? Okay, so to get out means to leave a place physically. Let's move on to number 8. To get off lightly. To get off lightly. To get off lightly means to experience less trouble than expected. Let's say, for example, you have done something wrong and you expect to get a very heavy punishment, okay? You expect to get a very heavy punishment. And then your parents come home and they find out what you have done. But instead of giving you a punishment, they just give you a warning. So you can say, oh wow, I got off lightly. I got off lightly. In other words, the punishment that you got was less than you expected. Okay? It was less than you expected. I got off lightly. Okay? And sometimes your parents can say to you, for example, the next time you do this, you will not get off so lightly. In other words, you will not get away with just a warning. Okay? The punishment you're going to get will be very severe. You won't get off lightly. Now, let's move on to number 9. Get back. Get back. To get back is to return back somewhere, okay? To return back is to get back. Let's say, for example, you have to go to the bank, for example. You have to go to the bank and you have to leave your husband at home. Then your husband can ask you, oh, you said that you're going to the bank. When will you get back? When will you get back? So he wants to know, when will you return? When will you return back home? Or you can say, I have to go to the bank right now, but I will get back in 20 minutes. I have to go to the bank right now, but I will get back in 20 minutes. So to get back means to return back to where you're coming from. Maybe your house, maybe work. You can say, for example, to your boss, I have to go to the hospital, but I will get back in the afternoon. I have to go to the hospital, but I will get back in the afternoon. The next phrasal verb is get back at. Get back at. To get back at is to revenge. Okay? Let's say somebody has smashed your car and you're very angry about it. So you can say to them, I will get back at you for this. I will get back at you for this. I will definitely get back at you for this. It means that you will revenge. In other words, you will do something that will also hurt them. I will get back at you for this. Okay? It means you will revenge. Phrasal verb number 11. Get to. Get to means to arrive at a place. Get to means to arrive at a place. For example, you can say, I have to leave now and I will get to the airport at 10 o'clock. You can say, for example, if I leave now, I will get to the airport at 10 o'clock. To get to means to arrive at a place. You can also ask, for example, how long will it take for us to get to the airport? How long will it take for us to get to the airport? To get to means to arrive. Let's move on to number 12. Get through to. Get through to. To get through to means to successfully explain something to someone. To successfully explain something to someone. You can use this in a sentence. For example, you can say, my maths teacher has tried to get through to me, but I can't understand him. My maths teacher has tried to get through to me, but I can't understand him. Okay? Then the maths teacher can say, what should I do to get through to you? What should I do to get through to you? You don't seem to be understanding this formula. What should I do to get through to you? Because you don't seem to be understanding this question. Okay? So to get through to someone is to successfully explain something to someone. To successfully explain something to someone. Number 13, to get wound up. To get wound up. To get wound up is to become angry. It is to get angry. Okay? Like, let's say, for example, if you're having an argument with somebody and You're the only one who is talking, okay? At some point, the other person can say to you, listen, you need to shut up now because I'm getting wound up. Listen, you need to shut up now because I'm getting wound up. In other words, he is getting angry, okay? Or you can say, for example, if you don't stop talking, I will get wound up. If you don't stop shouting, I will get wound up. So, getting wound up means becoming angry. Number 14, getting away with. To get away with is to escape the consequences of something, okay? To get away with is to escape the consequences of something. In other words, you're expecting a punishment. You're expecting someone to give you a punishment, okay? You have done something wrong and you expect a reaction from the person, okay? So you can get away with it. So to get away with something is to escape the consequences. You can use it in a sentence, for example. You can say, when I smashed his car, I expected him to get very angry with me, but I got away with it. When I smashed his car, I expected him to get extremely angry with me, but I got away with it. Okay? Or let's say, for example, you can say, now, if you want to get away with doing that, then you have to apologize. If you want to get away with that, then you have to apologize. So to get away with is to escape the consequences of doing something. Number 15, to get rid of. To get rid of is to throw something, okay? To get rid of is to throw away something. To throw away something. Like, let's say, for example, you have a lot of shoes and bags, okay? You have a lot of shoes and bags that you do not need at all. Then you can say, I need to get rid of some of these shoes and handbags. I need to get rid of some of these shoes and handbags. So to get rid of means to throw away something. Let's move on to number 16. To get even with. To get even with. To get even with is to revenge. Is to revenge. If someone says to you, listen, I know you think that I'm stupid, but I will get even with you for smashing my car. I will get even with you for smashing my car. It means that they will revenge. They are going to do something that is equally bad to hurt you, okay? It means they will do something that is equally bad to hurt you. I will get even with you. If someone says to you, I will get even with you, it doesn't matter how long it takes, I will get even with you. It means that one of these days they will revenge. Now, number 17, get across to. Get across to. To get across to means to make someone understand something. To get across to means to make someone understand something. Like, let's say, for example, you're trying to explain something to somebody and they just don't get it. They don't understand it, okay? Then you can say, I can't get across to you. I can't get across to you. I have tried to explain to you this problem so many times, but I just can't get across to you. Okay? It means that I can't make you understand the problem. Okay? I can't get across to you. I can't get you to understand what the problem is. Okay? Now, number 18, get along with. To get along with is to have a good relationship with somebody. To get along with is to have a good relationship with somebody. Like, let's say, for example, you can say, I get along with everybody. I get along with everybody. I get along with my classmates. I get along with my colleagues. I get along with all my neighbors. It means you have a good relationship with them. Let's move on to the next one. Number 19, get around. Get around. To get around means to get to places easily, okay? Like, for example, you can say, when you have a car, it is easier to get around. When you have a car, it is easier to get around. It means it's easier to get to the places where you want to go to. When you have a car, it is easier to get around. Okay? Let's move on to number 20. Get away. To get away is to escape. Like, let's say, for example, there is a fire in a building, okay? A fire has just broken out in a building, okay? And you want to escape. So you can say, for example, let us get away before the fire spreads. Let us get away before the fire spreads. Can we get away now, please? Can we get away before the fire spreads? Okay? So get away is to escape. Okay? And then let's move on to 21. That is to get by. Now, to get by is to survive. To get by is to survive. In other words, you are not really living life. You're not enjoying life to the maximum. You're just getting by. You're just surviving. Like, let's say, for example, if you lose your job and you don't have a job and you have children that you have to feed, you have rent that you have to pay, and then you meet a friend in the market, for example, and he asks you, how are you? Then you can say, listen, I'm just getting by. I'm just getting by. That means that I'm just surviving. I don't have enough money to feed my children. I don't have enough money to pay rent. I'm just getting by. It means that you're just surviving. Okay? Now, 22, get in. To get in is to enter. Okay? It is to enter. For example, to enter a building. Okay? To enter a building. Like, let's say, for example, you can say, I have lost my key and therefore I can't get in the house. I have lost my key and therefore I can't get in my house. Okay? Now, or let's say, for example, you have a visitor or a guest that you're expecting and then the doorbell rings. Okay? Or you hear a knock on your door. Then you go to your door, you open the door, and then you can say to your friend that you're expecting, oh, hi, get in. Okay? Get in. It means enter. Or let's say you're a teacher and you're teaching and there is a knock on the door. And then you go, you open the door and you find there is a student who is standing outside. So you can say to him, get in, please. Get in, please. It means enter. Okay? Now let's move on to 23. That is get down. Get down. To get down is to squat. It means you physically bend to your knees, okay, and squat, okay? You lower your body. You lower your body. That is to get down, okay? Like, for example, probably you have watched in some movies where someone is robbing the bank and then when they're holding a gun and they say, everybody get down. Everyone get down. It means that squat or lie on the floor, okay? It means physically go down, lie on the floor. Everybody get down, okay? So to get down is to squat or to lie down on the floor or on the ground. Let's move on to 24, and that is get behind. Get behind. To get behind, it means that you are behind in your schedule. You are behind in your schedule. You have a lot of things to do, and because of that, you have got behind. It means that you have not, let's say, for example, you have a deadline. You have a deadline that you're supposed to submit your assignment to your lecturer tomorrow. Okay? But you have so many things to do that you know for sure that you won't have enough time to complete your assignment. Then you can email your lecturer, for example, or you can call your lecturer and say, I'm really sorry, sir, but I'm getting behind in my work, so I won't be able to submit my essay tomorrow. I'm getting behind in my work. It means that you're behind your schedule, okay? You have a plan on when you want to do all the things that you want to do, but you're behind in your plan, okay? You're getting behind in your plan, which means that your plan is not up to date. You're behind in your schedule. You can also use it in a sentence by saying, I need to ensure that I get everything done today, otherwise I will start getting behind in my work. Okay? Let's move on to number 25, and that is our last phrasal verb, and that is get back to. To get back to is to return to an activity later or to contact somebody later. Okay? To get back to is to return to an activity later or to contact somebody later. Let's say, for example, you're very busy driving, okay? Let's say, for example, you're driving a car, okay? And then your phone rings. And you pick up your phone and you tell your friend, I'm really sorry, I can't talk to you now because I'm driving. I will get back to you later. I'm really sorry, I can't speak to you now, but I will get back to you later. It means that you will call them back later. You will contact them later, okay? Or you can use it in a sentence like, let's say, for example, you have a lot of things to do in your house. It is Saturday and you have a lot of things to do. You have to clean your house. You have to go and do your shopping. You have to iron your clothes. Then you can say, for example, oh, I'm not going to iron my clothes right now. I will get back to that later. I will not iron my clothes now. I will get back to that later. It means you will return to that activity later on. Okay? Now, I hope that you have found this lesson useful and informative. I know it is a long video, but it is one that will help you to learn 25 phrasal verbs. Okay? So I hope you now know what each phrasal verb means, but also I hope that you will now be able to use each phrasal verb in a sentence correctly. Okay? Now, if you found the video informative and useful, if you learned something, then subscribe to the channel. Let that be your way of saying thank you, okay? Say thank you by subscribing to the channel and giving this video a thumbs up and sharing the video with anybody else who needs it. Now, thank you very much for watching and subscribing to the channel, and see you in our next lesson. Bye bye.